Few places in ancient history evoke as much curiosity as Roman bathhouses. These centers of hygiene, relaxation and social life were more than just places to clean up. They were hubs of gossip, politics and, yes, pleasure. Today, we're diving into the steamy and fascinating world of sex in Roman bathhouses. How did these places function? And what role did they play in Rome's complex society? Let's explore. Roman bathhouses, or thermae, were architectural marvels of the ancient world. They were open to men and women, though typically at separate times of the day or in different areas. These sprawling complexes included hot rooms, cold plunges, massage areas, and even libraries. But beyond the baths themselves, they were places where Roman culture and pleasure flourished. The baths weren't just about cleanliness, they were a cornerstone of Roman social life. Politicians made deals, philosophers debated, and more intimate encounters often took place behind the scenes. But to understand this, we need to dive into the Roman mindset. The Romans had a very different view of sexuality than we do today. Sexual acts weren't so much about morality as they were about power, dominance and social roles. It wasn't the act itself that mattered, but who was doing what to whom. This perspective extended to bathhouses. Nudity in the baths was common, and the lack of privacy created an environment where flirtations and hookups were not uncommon. The design of the bathhouses lent itself to intimate encounters. There were large open spaces for bathing, but also private alcoves, massage rooms and steamy chambers where visibility was low. These areas weren't just for relaxation. Historical texts and graffiti suggest that some bathhouses had designated spaces for sexual activity, often involving courtesans or slaves. While not every bathhouse was the same, many catered to these desires alongside their more respectable services. Sex work was legal and widely accepted in ancient Rome, and bathhouses were often places where courtesans or prostitutes found clients. In many cases, slaves were also exploited for sexual purposes. This raises uncomfortable questions about consent and power dynamics in Roman society. Slaves had no autonomy, and their role in the baths extended to fulfilling the desires of their owners or patrons. It's important to approach this topic with a modern understanding of ethics, while recognizing the cultural norms of ancient Rome. Roman bathhouses were also hotbeds of gossip. Affairs, secret rendezvous, and scandals often started or were discovered here. Some Roman writers, like Juvenal, even mocked the elite for their behavior in the baths. One infamous rumor involved the Emperor Commodus, who was said to use bathhouses as personal pleasure palaces. True or not, these stories illustrate how intertwined bathhouses were with Roman intrigue. As the Roman Empire declined, so did the grandeur of its bathhouses. By the 5th century AD, many had fallen into disrepair, and the cultural norms surrounding them shifted. With the rise of Christianity, attitudes towards public nudity and sexuality became more conservative. Bathhouses became associated with sin, and their reputation as places of indulgence contributed to their decline. However, their legacy lives on in modern spas and bathhouse traditions worldwide. So what can we take away from this steamy chapter of history? Roman bathhouses weren't just about hygiene or relaxation. They were microcosms of Roman society, places where power, pleasure and politics intersected. And while some aspects of their culture feel far removed from ours, the universal human need for connection and indulgence reminds us that history is often closer than we think. What do you think? Were Roman bathhouses progressive or problematic? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient history, make sure to like, subscribe and share this video. Until next time, stay curious.